Coming up on the special Halloween edition of ICN, we have tales of local ghost stories, a sneak peek at a spooky guest who will be at this year's Grub Day.
Plus, all the places you can find trick-or-treating this year after this spooky intro made by Wes and Jonathan.
Bruh.
Man, this is way too much.
I got a pizza here.
Hi.
Happy Halloween from ICN.
Hello and welcome to this scary edition of ICN. I'm Jason, the Vampire Paredes.
And I'm Wesley. I'm just a hot dog. Today's story. Last month, the Foundation was home to the COTA, an art show presented by the Rutherford County Visual Arts Guild. All the artists featured were from Rutherford County and the surrounding area. We caught up with the winners to see what inspired them.
One day I was watching an old movie with my family. It was about a baseball team, and I thought that was a really interesting concept. It makes viewers wonder, okay, who are the animals rooting for? Which team are they on?
The reason I picked it is because I really like to push myself as far as I possibly can. And I don't know, because if you don't push yourself hard as you can, you're never going to grow. So I don't know, I did that one just to push myself and see what I could do. Because color pencil is my favorite medium, and that was a challenge.
I was inspired by how many glucose strips I've had, and I was pretty excited because it was actually one of like the third contests I've won, so that was cool.
Who's a good snake? Who's a good snake? Oh, I'm hungry.
Hungry for what? Hot dogs?
No, for candy. We are just a few days from trick-or-treating.
And if you are looking to go grab some candy for yourself or take a little ghost or goblin to find some treats, we have you covered.
Downtown Rutherfordton has trick-or-treating on Main Street from 4 o'clock to 5:30 on Halloween.
Four Cities Main Street trick-or-treating kicks off at 4 and runs until 6 on Friday, October 28th.
Of course, there are several churches doing trick-or-treat.
Calvary Baptist will be doing a trunk-or-treat on Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m.
Spindale United Methodist Church will do trick-or-treating from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
On October 29th, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., trunk-or-treat at Chase High School.
There will also be fun activities at Tryon International Equestrian Center on the 29th and 30th.
I'm sure there are lots of other trunk-or-treats and events out there. We just don't have the time to list them all.
Maybe later. On October 22nd, Main Street Rutherfordton saw its first fall festival celebration since the beginning of the pandemic. The crowds were heavy as many came out to enjoy the crafts for sale, car show, delicious food, live music, and there was even a dunking booth. The large crowd was due in no small part to the lack of events due to COVID. As life returns to normal, we can see the impact on these events having on small communities like ours. Surely, a great sign for trick-or-treating on Main Street coming up on Halloween Day.
Grub Day will be held October 26th on ICC campus. As always, there will be fishing on the lake, free food, and live music. But this year, there's a few extra surprises.
Something wicked this way comes. I may be able to look into your future, but I might find misfortune.
If you are a student on campus looking to vote for things just got easier for you. On October 20th, you'll be able to vote here on campus. Early voting will last until November 5th, and Election Day will be on November 8th, and same-day registration will also be available.
Hey Wes, are you ready for Halloween?
Not really. I'm hungry. Let's see, things just aren't spooky enough here. Do you ever think that?
Not really. Well, then, you'll want to listen up. We had an anonymous person come into the studio to tell us the tale of Daniel Keefe.
You unlocked the door?
Daniel Keefe was a massive man, said to stand 6'4". He was infamous around Western North Carolina as a fraud, but nowhere in his criminal history was a trace of violence. In early 1880, he was accused of murdering a young girl, despite proclaiming himself innocent. On the day of his execution, Keith looked Sheriff N.E. Walker dead in the eyes and said, "The soul of an innocent man won't ever rest until he can prove himself innocent." Shortly after the hanging, the locals began noticing something very odd.
Man, it was just getting good. I want to know what happens next.
Well, you'll just have to wait for a minute.
It's not fair.
We'll be back with the conclusion of this story in another bone-chilling tale.
You find yourself running away from your future? Unsure of what opportunities and expectations lie ahead? Fighting for a future without debt? CCP might be the light at the end of the tunnel. The Career and College Promise is a partnership between high schools and Isothermal Community College. It offers qualified high school students a clear, focused, tuition-free path to obtain a certificate, diploma, or degree. Choose to pursue pathways like criminal justice, advertising and graphic design, agribusiness technology, or equine. You can even start your college transfer pathway. For a complete list of pathways and to find out if you're eligible, visit isothermal.edu. And stay clear of the debt zombies.
We now conclude the story of Daniel Keefe.
It's about time.
The locals noticed that on the south wall of the jail, the silhouette of a man had appeared seemingly overnight, almost as if someone had painted the bricks. Sheriff Walker was upset, and figuring it was a prank, had the wall repainted, but only a few days later, it appeared once again. For years, the jail was repainted and washed, but the shadow always remained. In 1960, the jail was demolished, but the legend of Daniel Keith still lives on today.
There are lots of local ghost stories that can get us ready for a spooky Halloween. Here's Joe to tell us about the dangers of Cone Mills Lake.
In early September 1972, there were two sisters traveling late at night. They were going to their mother's house because they were going to visit for the weekend. That night, a forecast for a severe thunderstorm appeared out of nowhere. They were headed from Caroline on U.S. Highway 221A, and the rain only got heavier as the night progressed. As they passed the postal office, the sisters approached Cones Mill Lake Bridge and completely lost control of their vehicle. They found themselves falling from the bridge above 100 feet. Then plunging into freezing cold, shallow water. Nobody survived that night. If you find yourself in the path of the bridge, beware, because legends made, if it's storming past 10 p.m., you'll notice a woman in a white dress pacing the bridge in an offsetting manner. If you happen to stop and ask the mysterious figure if she needs help, she would gladly agree and get in your car. If you happen to look away for an instant, she'll disappear forever. I urge you to be wary of Cones Mill Lake.
I better stay off that one. With the holiday weekend approaching, we went around campus and asked folks from what their plans were. From the parties to theme parks, here's what they had to say.
My plans for Halloween is I'm probably just gonna hand out some candy, possibly watch some horror movies, but mainly hand out candy.
I'm going to a swing dancing Halloween costume party and a blues dancing Halloween costume party.
My plans for Halloween are going to haunted houses and going to some Halloween parties.
My plans for Halloween is probably going to scare ones again and probably some haunted houses and mazes.
My plans for Halloween are going trick-or-treating with my little brothers, even though I feel I'm a little too old for it.
My plans for Halloween are diabolical!
No matter what you're doing on Halloween, you might need a costume. To help you decide, we spoke with a local costume store, Casper's Closet, on what the most popular costumes have been this year.
So our most popular Halloween costumes so far this year have been Michael Myers. We've done some Stranger Things with the new season coming out. That's been pretty popular. We have the Hellfire Club t-shirts as well as the Surfer Pizza t-shirts. Those have been semi-popular this year so far, and we anticipate that'll pick up even more once we get a little closer to Halloween.
Oh, shiver me timbers. Thanks for joining us on this spooky edition of ICN.
We hope you're ready for Halloween.
Have a very scary day and stay safe.
And we are just dying for you to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Oh, please.